Right. Thank you, Mataji.
Done, Mataji.
Okay. Oh my God, what happened to my PowerPoint? Okay, hang on, Mataji. It's fine. Somebody's practicing. Yay. Okay, I hope this is all right. Okay. All right. Oh, why? Okay, I think so far only the first. I think the rest are okay. Hope it's not corrupted all the way. Okay, Mataji. Siapa kita? Yashoda Mai Mataji. You can read and then you can carry on with the kirtan. Mataji, is that okay?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
So I sing, huh?
Yes, yes. This one you just recite.
I just recite, huh?
Hmm.
Om Ajanati Mirantasha Jananjaya Salakaya Chaksu Umilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha.
Translation.
I offer my most humble obeisances to my spiritual master who has opened my eyes, which were blinded by ignorance, with the light of knowledge.
Thank you. Carry on. Nama. Bhajan, can start, Mataji.
I need to stop or
You can sing. Start singing.
I can sing until finish, okay? Or I need to stop.
Stop what, Mataji? You're chanting, is it?
No, I mean stop. Oh, it's okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
Sing, huh? Namo Vishnu Pataya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti
Vedanta Swami
Iti namine.
Vedanta. Yeah, we go the slow way.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschayate Satarine.
Namaste.
Ena Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasya Desatarini.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Veda Gatahara Srivasadi Gora Bhattavinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu
Nityananda
Sri
Sri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Srivasadi Gaura
Bhaktivinoda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama.
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
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 Hare
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 Rama,
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 Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Haribol! Thank you, Yashamati Mataji, and everybody for participating.
Super.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, I'm so sorry we have to skip this bhajan because it's already 7:30 plus. Okay, so prayers to the spiritual teachers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikna Vinasha Narsimha Iti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It looks like some Arabic words, right? Okay. The program is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this version of the PowerPoint. It was okay when I was preparing earlier. Okay, so an excerpt from the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, understanding of Gita. We work not with our body, actually, but with our mind and intelligence. So, if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged in the thought of the Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. Superficially, at least, the activities of the senses remain the same, but the consciousness is changed. Okay? The Bhagavad Gita teaches one how to absorb the mind. Mataji, the recording is going on, right? Okay. The Bhagavad Gita teaches one how to absorb the mind and intelligence in the thought of the Lord. Such absorption will enable one to transfer himself to the kingdom of the Lord. If the mind is engaged in Krishna's service, then the senses are automatically engaged in his services. Okay? When the mind is engaged, the senses are engaged. Okay? This is the art, and this is also the secret of Bhagavad Gita. Total absorption in the thought of Sri Krishna. This is why I always mention, right? This is at the pinnacle of the yoga ladder. This is the pinnacle. Total absorption, samadhi, in the thought of Sri Krishna. So, in whose thought? In the thought of Sri Krishna. All right. So, superficially, even though the activities are the same, the consciousness has changed. Okay. Even though the daily activities that we are going to go on, it's going to be the same, but our mentality, the surrendering of the result, the consciousness is now dovetailed for Krishna's pleasure. Okay, so we are here, chapter 18, part 2. This is what we went through last week, part 1. So you can see, you can compare. In level 1, we only did 20 to 22 and 37 to 39. But for level 1, we expanded that from 18.1 up to 18.39. Okay, so in level 2, part 2, okay, earlier we saw karma section and then jnana section and how the modes control all activities. This one we saw how the knowledge in the 3 modes. So we saw that. Okay, and for today, we will start by looking at freedom from reaction by carrying out your prescribed duties. All right, and then there are 3 types of knowledge. All this actually covered already in the entire Bhagavad Gita. So basically, this is just recap. Krishna is recapping for us. All right, so there is confidential knowledge, there is more confidential knowledge, and there is most confidential knowledge. So what is confidential knowledge? Moving from reaction-free work through liberation. This is attaining Brahman stage. Means you are no more materially attached to anything. So that stage, this one, you are actually liberated by the material, from the material activities. And then beginning the bhakti. Remember, the first section is karma yoga. Okay, the third section is jnana yoga, and the middle section is bhakti yoga. But all of this will culminate in bhakti. So confidential knowledge means transferring yourself, moving from reaction-free work through liberation to devotional service. Okay, and then Krishna will talk about more confidential knowledge. So this one, Krishna will talk about super soul, surrendering to super soul. And then he will tell about most confidential knowledge about pure devotion. That is most confidential. And then this is the ending section of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. It's about the glories of the Bhagavad Gita. What is the benefit for those who shares information about Bhagavad Gita? And what is the benefit of somebody who's receiving the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita? So these are the benefits covered here. And then finally, Krishna will tell Arjuna, now do as you wish. Have you heard everything carefully? Like that, Krishna will ask. And then the last sloka will be Sanjaya. In the beginning, the first sloka was by Dhritarashtra conversing with Sanjaya. He's asking Sanjaya, can you tell me what's happening at the battlefield? So now all this description given by Sanjaya, and is giving a concluding sloka. What's going to happen now? Like that. All right. So these are the lesson for today. Purification through prescribed duties of Varnas. Ramakrishna will start by talking about this. Okay, not Krishna will start, but we are continuing, all right, from 18.41 to 18.44. So this one is actually from a summary from the verses. Okay, let me read out. Okay, let me read out, and please look at the table as I read and look at the points. Okay, 41. If you want, you can also open your own Bhagavad Gita, but you can also look at the summary chart. Okay, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. My internet connection is showing unstable, so anytime I'm freezing or disconnected or something, so just let me know here, okay? Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures in accordance with the material modes, chastiser of the enemy. And then 42. Peacefulness, self-control, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. So this is in the mode of goodness. So these are the characteristics in the mode of goodness. So generally displayed by people in the Brahmanas class. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. So they are in the mode of passion because they are the fighters. You need to fight. You have to have passion to fight, right? So that's why they are in the mode of passion. Farming, cow protection, and business are natural work for the Vaishyas. Okay, so they are in the mix of mode of passion and ignorance. They are in between. I mean, they have both modes. And for the Sudras, they are labor, and service to others. So they are in the mode of ignorance. So the other classes should be assisting. This is the class that will be providing service to others. Okay, so they assist each other for the community to thrive. You can't live without one another. Okay, so nobody is like superior from the other. All are important. Okay, so by following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. So this is how Krishna will talk about work, how to perform work. All right, so we move on to 18.48. Meena Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji,
Saha,
okay, Mataji, you can.
okay, Hare Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api nat yajet sarvarambahi doshena tumeni agni vipratah. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is saying, okay, we have fire. Fire is considered pure. All right. So the analogy is given is, even though fire is covered by smoke, fire is still fire. It will still burn. It still has the nature of giving light and heat. All right. So like that, Krishna is saying, even though, okay, in the first place, the first point is that all these activities, right, in these in the three modes by the four varnas, there are contaminations in it. Am I lagging? Okay, Hare Krishna Radhana.
No, Mataji, you're good, you're good.
Okay. All right. So every mode has its own contaminations. Okay. In conditioned life, because we are already in conditioned life, all work is contaminated by the material modes of nature. Okay. For example, so you take a Brahmana. So when Brahmana, those days when they perform some activities, yagyas, right? Sometimes they perform animal killing. Sometimes they kill horse or something, right? So sometimes the animal killing is necessary, but that's in a different mode, right? For different purposes. But those days, the Brahmanas, when they do sacrifices, when they sacrifice a horse, is actually when they want to test the power of their mantra. So after they test, the horse will become alive again. All right. So like that, some killings were necessary those days. All right. So this is actually it could be a contamination in that sense. All right. And then take Kshatriya. All right. However pious he can be, he has to fight enemies. All right. He cannot avoid it. So this is a part of the prescribed duties. All right. It may look like, oh, so abominable, I don't want to kill. Like that's what Arjuna thought, right? I don't want to destroy my superiors. That's what he thought. Okay, and then look at the Vaishya. Vaishya means a businessman, a merchant. Okay, he to thrive in his business. Do you think he honestly declare all his profit? Right? He doesn't, right? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have to hide the profit to stay in business. So that is business intelligence, right? Sometimes he have to do business it is mentioned sometimes they do business in the black market. All right. So these things, in the business perspective, it is required. All right. This is necessary. So one cannot avoid them to stay in that, to perform the prescribed duties continuously. Okay. And last one, we can take the example of a Sudra. Sudra means they provide services for the other classes. Okay. And he could be landed under the supervision of a bad man, not Batman, evil man, bad, BAD. So he has to carry out whatever the instruction the master is giving. He cannot say, oh, this is bad, I don't want to do. But to maintain in that job, he has to do it. So you can see there are contamination at all the varnas. However, despite these flaws, one is recommended to continue to carry out his prescribed duties because they are simply born out of their own nature. Okay, although the fire is pure, but there is smoke. Okay, but that smoke does not make the fire impure. Okay, so that's why fire is meant to be very pure, even though the smoke is covered. Actually, Mataji, the fact is that this Varnasrama, it may have been applicable long ago. But Prabhupada said, now, right, we are all Sudras. All right, there are no properly qualified Brahmana. There are no properly qualified Kshatriyas. And everywhere, even though just now I gave an example that some hiding of profit is necessary, some ways of doing business is necessary, but a lot of impurities has taken over. So basically everybody has become very Sudra, means we lack of knowledge, we do everything like abominable, as if that we don't have knowledge about what's right and wrong, like that. But the only way that we can transcend this is by engaging in devotional service, where we are all pure spirit soul, we are embodied spirit soul. So in that way there is no differentiation. Okay, so it's basically the duties that they perform. It's not because a Sudra is a Sudra because he's born Sudra. A Brahmana is a Brahmana because he's a born Brahmana. Because it's actually the qualities that they have developed along the way. It's guna karma. There's one verse Krishna will say is guna karma. Guna means quality that they have developed. Hare Krishna. Is it same for everybody? Hare Krishna, Krishna. Okay.
You're good, Mataji.
Okay. Because I'm thinking it's going to rain also, I thought it's mine. So it's guna karma, yeah? It's not janma karma. Janma means birth. Okay, is that what you're asking, Mataji? Sudras are not lower class people, but more of the duties. Yes, it's duties. So there are no first class, second class. It's not like that, right? Okay. What else? Did I cover everything? Okay, so every endeavor is covered by some faults. So some faults are always there. Okay, for example, right, if I want to give you my example, in the beginning, before I became a serious devotee, right, my career was more of giving loan, recommending loans. So can you imagine, I need to recommend good things about some businesses. So when I went in, I had to take over this very huge portfolio from a previous officer. And that portfolio is actually poultry business. It's egg, chicken, duck, stuff like that. All right. And then I really spent a lot of time trying to study that case. And then I used to go back late. So you can see how much time I spent there, so much of energy and focus. All right, so I had to do it because it's the job, right? I have to do it. But later on, after I became a little seasoned in the job, there's another case came in, trading of beef, cows, you know. So I thought, okay, I really cannot do this. My heart just doesn't allow this. So I told my boss, I say, could you just assign this case to somebody else? I really cannot do this. So actually, they actually given it to somebody else. So when we are in a situation that we are unable to avoid, then we perform it, surrendering the results to Krishna. But if we can avoid it, then we can try to do it, because that's what Krishna asked Arjuna to do, right? He never asked Arjuna to renounce this and go to some mountain and meditate. He said, fight. So this is how in everyday life we are faced with lots of decision making. We are at the decision making junction. So this is how we make decisions. So if you really can't avoid, then we just have to pray and surrender the result and perform our duties. Where we can make some changes, we can try. All right. So this is just a short sharing from me. All right. So like that, above all this, one should be determined to serve the Supreme Lord through his occupational duty in Krishna consciousness. That means, remember, you are doing everything superficially, but your consciousness is Krishna consciousness, God consciousness. So that is the perfectional point. Okay, so even though you are the fire and this fault are covering you like a smoke, you are the fire. You are not changing. Okay, you will remain pure. Okay, so now we will move to the confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, and the most confidential knowledge. So it starts with 51. Prema Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Should I read only the translation or with the...
Yeah, there's translation only. Yes, translation, Mataji.
Okay. Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. So this is where Krishna is talking about how a person is moving from reaction-free work, all right, and he's coming to a liberated stage. Means he goes by all these qualities. If you can see easily, you can see more than 10 are here. Purified by intelligence, controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance, and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. So easily there are more than 10. So if one person can surpass all this, then this person is certainly qualified to be elevated to position of self-realization. Okay, so you have all these qualities. So Krishna says this is confidential knowledge, meaning free from reactionless work, means you perform your work, but you are detached from the result of the work. Okay, so this will lead us to liberation and then to devotional service. Okay, there's another term used for this. It's called Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. You come to a joyful stage when you are materially detached from a lot of things. Okay, when you are materially detached. Okay, point 54, Prema Papu Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma Na Sochati Na Kansati Sama Sarveshu Bhudeshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realize the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So, this is the characteristics or symptoms that a person has when he is in a Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma platform. Means a person who has the realization of the Supreme Brahman. Okay, that means he has detached himself from all the material activities. Okay, so they call it attaining Brahman realization, and at that stage he becomes joyful because he's free from miseries. Okay, he never laments, these are the characteristics. He never laments or desires to have anything. He's equally disposed. At that stage, Krishna says, can you see, Krishna never say that he attains perfection there and then his journey stops there. No, he says in that state he attains pure devotional service unto me, which means the journey is supposed to continue. If you can see, if you can read the text here, to the impersonalists. Impersonal means those who are Brahman, worship of Brahman, means the formless God. Okay, these are impersonalists. We are personalists because we are worshipping Krishna in this form, because Krishna has a form, right? Impersonalists is those who are worshipping the light. That one is impersonalist. So that's the term. All right, achieving the Brahma Bhuta stage. Okay, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. For them, becoming one with the absolute is the last word. For them, okay, that's it. For them, it's all about merging into the impersonalism. All right. But for the personalist or pure devotee, one has to go still further. This is what Krishna says here. One has to still go further to become engaged in pure devotional service. Okay, so basically, where jnana ends, bhakti begins. So it does not end at jnana. Jnana is an impetus for you to go to bhakti. All right, so that is the point of this sloka. So this is what Krishna is explaining under the confidential knowledge. Okay, in that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. So how does it take on, right? We will see that how, what is the process? Okay, CC Madhya, Pushpa Mataji. Hey, Mataji is not here. Okay, let me read that. Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lada Bija. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the creeper of devotional service. Okay, so how this happens? How does this start? Right, he attains pure devotional service unto me. So it starts like this. Oh yeah, is it very obvious? Yeah, my headache is still yesterday. My Panadol also sudah habis. Okay, so when after, remember the sloka bahuna janmanam ante, after many lives, all right, one is fortunate to attain the devotional service, to understand Krishna, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, to know that Krishna is the source of everything. It will take many life. All right, so that such soul, he is very fortunate to get an opportunity to associate with spiritual master of devotee of Krishna. So we need two, grace of Krishna and grace of spiritual master. And with this, both mercy of Krishna and spiritual master, one receives the seed of creeper of devotional service. They will come and plant the seed. You will never know how long the seed will take to grow, but they will plant. Somebody would have planted the seed for you long ago, maybe this life or previous life or many lives ago, but it is sprouting. It has sprouted and it's growing. For some it's like a tree already, for some it's like a plant. Okay, so you need to pour water. What is the water called? That water is chanting, all right, association of devotees, hearing, reading. So all these are water that we are pouring on the seed. So you're allowing your seed to sprout, all right? Okay, so this is called Guru Krishna Prasada. Prasada means mercy. Okay, so Krishna is prepared to bestow his mercy upon all living entities. And as soon as the living entity desires the Lord's mercy, the Lord immediately give him an opportunity to meet a bona fide spiritual master. Okay, so this is mercy, and it's also our desire, or our desire and then the mercy. So such a fortunate person is fortified, strengthened by both Krishna and the spiritual master. So for us, Krishna will help from within, and from outside, the spiritual master will help. Okay, so both of them are prepared to help the sincere living entity to become free from material bondage. Okay, so that's how it works. That's how the process is. So that is also covered under confidential knowledge. Okay, confidential knowledge continues to point 55. Saraswati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 55. Bhaktya mam ahi yanti yavan yaschami tatvata tatto mam tatto natva visede tat arantaram. Translation: Who can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service, and when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. So here Krishna is proclaiming All right, pure bhakti yoga is the way to understand Krishna and enter his abode. That is the only way. Bhakti is the only way to enter Krishna's abode. You cannot understand Krishna through speculative mode. Yeah, it's like that. Is it like this? Is it like that? No, I think it's like this or it's like that. So there is no speculation or assumptions. Okay, so it is direct. It has to be bhakti and it has to come through. Later we will see where is it coming from. Okay, so the eligibility. The important point here is we need to be eligible to understand the absolute truth. Okay, Krishna cannot be understood by mental speculation or by non-devotees. All right, it's they cannot bring out the essence of the Bhagavad Gita if you are hearing from them. Okay, it will go into so much of philosophical and speculative perspectives, but it will not bring up that bhakti as a substance from the Bhagavad Gita. All right, so the only way to know Krishna, so what is the only way then? I mean, what is the way then? The only way is to take up pure devotional service under the guidance of a pure devotee, like a spiritual master. Okay, without the devotional service, absolute truth is always hidden. Okay, now a quick exercise for you all. This line I just said, without devotion service, absolute truth is always hidden. I want you to look up at 7.25. So please read to me the translation. 7.25. This is to support what I said just now. Anybody flipping the Bhagavad Gita already? Just the translation.
I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. 7.25.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is how Krishna already declared that I am not known to this kind of people, but only through devotional service one can understand me as I am. So you can relate that 7.25 to 18.55 this way. Okay, so how one becomes eligible to enter the okay, this is what I mentioned. So how one becomes eligible to enter the Lord? By having this understanding. Okay, by being very conversant with the signs of Krishna. Okay, so how one's devotional service begins after achieving Brahma Bhuta stage. So this is how Krishna is explaining. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realize the supreme Brahman and become fully joyful. This is the sloka we saw earlier. So Krishna is saying that the devotional service begins after achieving the Brahma Bhuta stage. You understand what I'm saying? At Brahma Bhuta stage, a person is already materially detached, and then his journey continues into taking up devotional service. Okay, so how a person who already achieved the Brahma Bhuta stage is going to go on the devotional path? Okay, first you have to enter a kindergarten. All right, after that you need to develop yourself to go to standard 1, standard 2, standard 3. Now that development is called the development of the Brahma Bhuta stage. You sudah step in, lepas tu you want to advance, and the advancement is watered by hearing from the Lord. So by hearing, what is the effect of the hearing? Your Brahma Bhuta stage develops. As you develop your Brahma Bhuta stage, the material contamination decreases. And when these two things happening, your hearing increases, your material contamination is decreasing, we will be able to understand the Supreme Lord. And this is what Krishna is talking here. One can understand me as I am only by devotional service. Okay, and then so I can read this out. Yeah, one should understand Krishna in truth, and this one can do only by serving a pure devotee. Remember, having the fortune of getting association of a spiritual master. And then here, let me try to focus that. Loving devotional service to the Lord begins with hearing about the Lord. So everything starts from here. What is the word for hearing? Long time I didn't ask this. It starts with S. Who can Give me. Ke I want to call name. Macam mana?
Smaranam, Kirtanam, and Saranam.
Which one, Mataji? Can you say that again? Sravanam. Let me type that out. Sravanam. Okay. Sravanam. After you hear, you chant. That is Kirtanam. Alright. And then after you hear, after you chant, then after you log off your Zoom, you remember. Smaranam. Smaran. Right? So that's how you remember. Yeah, Kirtanam or Sankirtanam. Very good. Okay. Okay, so this is watered by the devotional service, by hearing. Okay, hold on now. Okay. All right, so another characteristic of a person, or to explain better about this Brahma Bhuta stage, it means the living entity has understood before he takes up, I mean, when he has the realization or the importance of taking that devotional service, he already understood that his position is, he's understood his constitutional position, the basic position as the fragmental part and parcel and the eternal servant of the Lord. So this is how Srimad Bhagavatam defines a real devotional liberation. So while we are living, we are liberated. So what is that? It's called real devotional liberation. Okay, it's a reinstatement of living entity in one's constitutional position as fragmental part and parcel and eternal servant of the Lord. Okay, so understanding Krishna is made possible only through devotional service, and devotional service mainly talking about hearing. Okay, and then chanting, and then remembering, and so on. So there are 9 devotional services. Okay, and all this happens with the mercy of Krishna and Guru. Guru, Krishna, Prasada. So you remember that term. Okay, so now we know already, we need to understand Krishna. So there are so many ways people try to understand Krishna. Let's see how interesting people understand Krishna. Okay. All right, first, there are people who look at Krishna as an imaginary figure. So they thought, okay, maybe Vyasadeva wants to teach us some moral lessons. So he created this figure. So he introduced this character, Krishna and Arjuna, and then he gave the philosophy, and then he gave the war. So this is how Krishna is understood by people in the beginning stage. So basically, if you see this chart, it's how people view Krishna differently. All right, the changes in their understanding as we progress. Okay, we will see how we continue as we continue in our devotional service, how we understand Krishna in these different levels. Okay, so they usually start with this. They think he's an imaginative figure like Harry Potter or Superman. These are Marvel and DC comics, right? Okay, and then there are people who think that Krishna is a very powerful person. He knows how to be a good diplomat. He's a good politician. He's a good statesman, and he has made Pandavas to win the Mahabharata. So people look at him in that way also. All right. And then there are people who look at Krishna as a great social reformer. In what sense? If you remember, Krishna had 108 queens, Vama, Rukmini, and so on. All right. And after that, he saved 16,000 princesses captured by a demon. So the moment he defeated the demon, he released these 16,000 princesses. They were not accepted by their family. So Krishna married them, given them the status of queen. So each of them, Krishna gave one palace. All right. So in that way, he was viewed as, oh, he's a very like he's a reformer who he fought for women, and then he gave them the status, made them queen. So they think that he's that kind of person, social person, social reformer. All right. And even though he was a prince, he actually stayed as a cowherd boy, and then the way he treated Sudama with so much of kindness. So they think that he's a very socially responsible person. So that's how people look at Krishna in one sense. And then there are people who think that Krishna, God is Brahman, impersonal, and God comes as in human form as Krishna. So they think that from unmanifested form, the God has appeared in manifested form. So that's how people look at Krishna. Okay, and then there are people who look at Krishna as the avatar of Vishnu. Okay, so generally when people ask, is Krishna and Vishnu same, or Krishna comes from Vishnu, or Vishnu comes from even they say Krishna comes from Vishnu, so generally we will agree because they are the same. Okay, but when we explain in the light of scriptures, referring to the scriptures and the evidences that we have, we can actually put forth our points and say that Krishna is the fountainhead of all the incarnations, and from there all the expansions and incarnations come. Okay, so this one we covered when we did six categories of avatar in our special class. Okay, so we can see how people look at Krishna in various ways. Imaginary figure, hold on, yeah. Okay, a powerful diplomat, great social reformer, impersonal Brahma who came in person, and as avatar Vishnu. Okay, so now let's see what Krishna is going to talk about this aspect. Okay, this is in Bhagavatam actually. This is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Whose turn? I cannot open my phone. Shobha Mataji. Okay. Okay,
All
Mataji.
the above mentioned incarnations are either
Plenary.
plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord, but Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists.
Okay, right. So the second part, you all, where is a well-known fact to all of you, right? So there are reasons why Krishna appears. Can I have 3 reasons? Let's recap a bit. See whether you all remember. Now, what are the 3 reasons Krishna comes down? Ken, Mataji's? 3 reasons why Krishna comes. Paitranaya sadhunam, remember? Okay, yeah, you have that point there. Religion is deteriorating, yes. Decrease in religious, okay. To kill the demons, uphold dharma. All right, there are, okay. I think one more, we can have one more. The call from his devotees. Why? Yeah, he comes to please his devotees. So these are the 3 reasons. Very good, Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay, so Krishna is saying all these incarnations, they are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. So this is actually, it's a big topic. That's why it's in Bhagavatam, not in Bhagavad Gita. Plenary portion or portion is like a part of Krishna, a direct part of Krishna, or a part of the Krishna. So that's what it means by portion of the plenary portion of the Lord. So if I want to explain to you very fast and brief, so that's how I can explain. Plenary means immediate expansion from Krishna, and then from that expansion, another expansion, that is plenary portion. So when Krishna comes, he came in all his full 6 opulence. He had everything. But sometimes from time to time when he incarnates, he has a certain quality more dominant, like in the in the pastime of Narsingha, he had strength more. All right. And when he came as a Vamana, he had beauty more. And on other incarnation, he had exhibited knowledge more, like that. So these are the portions. He comes with the portions. So all these plenary portion incarnations are coming from Krishna. All right. So another term is fountainhead of the incarnations. Okay, so this is what I asked you all just now. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. So the Lord incarnates to protect the atheists. So this is how we understand about Krishna. Okay, so now to speak further on how to understand Krishna, we have this example. What can you all see here? What do you all think? How do you actually taste honey? What is the famous, or I can ask, what is the proverb very famous with honey? To taste the honey, you need to dig in and, yeah, let me see. Yeah, as sweet as honey. So how do you actually taste the honey? So we cannot taste honey by licking the outside of the bottle. So we have got to taste the content of the honey in the bottle. So if you want to understand Krishna, then we have to take the life of devotion. Otherwise, you will not taste the ripened fruit, or like in this case is honey. All right. So a person who does not take the life in devotion, he cannot understand Krishna or Krishna conscious philosophy. It's very difficult to relate. All right. And Bhagavad Gita will be very the information in Bhagavad Gita is very, very difficult to understand. Okay, if it's not taken up in the mode of devotion. Okay, so Prabhupada's guru says this. My Guru Maharaj say it is just like licking the honey bottle. You can come to the bottle of filled with honey, but simply by licking the bottle, what taste will you get? The honey must be opened. Then if you taste, you will know what is honey. And if you remember this term, in chapter 4, I think it is directly perceived. You can directly feel it. You can directly relish it. Okay. So similarly, taking the Bhagavad Gita and trying to understand it by through scholars. Sometimes people pay and join some class, and then the professional speakers will speak. So this is like licking the honey bottle from the outside. That's all. There will be no taste. There will be you cannot relish it. Okay, so if you want to understand, the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. So who knows what is the meaning of this verse? Okay, let me tell you the verse, yeah. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. So the term here is sevaya. Jnani Tattva Darshana, he has seen the truth. So can you relate that? You can Google, you can search, use the keyword Tat Vidhi Pranipatena. Can somebody give me the translation? Okay, ada satu jawapan. Serve others. Okay, you got the term serve. Jnaninas Tattva Darshina. Okay, you got the term serve, right? Now we are talking about Jnani. What kind of person that we need to serve? Copy paste ni. Okay, just try to serve and inquire submissively. Yes, this is exactly the point that I'm looking for. But thank you, Shobha Mataji has given the full version. You can read that. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. So we need to inquire from the Guru, not just listen, yeah. Another service that we are doing to the Guru is to put forth valid questions. All right. And then we render service until we give something, we take something. And by doing this process, the self-realized soul, yes, can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Jnanina tattva darshinaha. Darshina, seen. Tattva, truth, Jnani. The Jnani has seen the truth, so therefore he will be able to give us the truth. He can impart the knowledge to us. So like that, you can see this picture here. To taste the honey of the Krishna consciousness, you need to engage in devotional service under the guidance of a guru, and then you can go on in your devotional service, carrying out. Okay, this is the same tattva. You have to approach a person who has seen the tattva, tattva darshinaha. Okay, and how do you understand that? By devotional service. Okay, and yeah, okay, so if you want to understand Krishna, then you have to take the life of devotion under the guidance of a spiritual master. Now we are moving into more confidential knowledge. Earlier was confidential knowledge, now more confidential knowledge. Did I give this? Wait, hold on, yeah. Tamari Mataji, is it?
Yes.
Because I think I accidentally deleted the verse number.
Yes. This is Bhagavad Gita,
Translation,
verse 61 to 63.
Yes.
Yeah. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. O signs of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and the eternal abode. Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate and then do what you wish to do.
Okay, deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. You know, a lot of people, they like this verse because they think, okay, Krishna asked me to do whatever I wish to do, you know, like that. Anyways, Krishna is trying to be like a good boss here. If you're a good boss, you know, after you put forth all the ideas and presentation, everything, you know what you'll say? Okay, now you can take your decision, because he put the trust in you so that you can make your own decision independently, because everything is given to you already. Okay, so like that, Krishna is asking Arjuna. Free will. Yes, that's right. That's the term. Correct. All right. So Krishna has given everything, the pros and cons. If you do this, you do that, you get that. If you do this, you get that. Okay. Krishna is not forcing anything on anybody. Krishna just say, okay, surrender unto him. Unto him means he's looking at, he's referring to his Krishna as super soul in everybody's heart. This is more confidential knowledge. So remember, in the first part, we actually looked at freedom from reaction by occupational work. And then we went into confidential knowledge, how from reaction-free work, we go through the liberation, the Brahma Bhuta stage, and taking up devotional service. And then we are here at more confidential knowledge. Krishna is recommending the surrender to super soul. Okay, so this is a combination of 3 verses here, 1, 2, 3. And then he says, okay, have you heard? I have explained to you everything. So think about it and do what you wish to do. All right. Who remembers this movie, Blue Pill, Red Pill? Kajay Mataji? Who remembers this? You know, you always have this, if you have 2 pills, blue pills for what, red pill for what? Actually, I don't know what is the blue pill, red pill for, but I just know what movie is that from. Yeah, why did he ask? What's the blue pill, red pill? I don't even know why he asked that. Right? This one, right? Keanu Reeves. Okay, I've not watched a single part of this movie, so I really don't know. But I just got to know that the blue pill, red pill is coming from this movie only. Okay, so he will be, this is the option he's given. But here Krishna is not given even an option. You can do what you want to do. All right? No multiple choice question, no ABCD. Okay? All right, so you can do whatever you want to do. That is what Krishna is telling. Krishna does not interfere with the small independence of the living entity. Okay, and okay, so that's about more confidential knowledge. We are at most confidential knowledge now, 64. Why, Mataji?
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay, let me just, okay. So Bhagavad Gita, verse 18, chapter 18, verse 64. Sarva guya tamam buya shrinu me paramam vachaha ishtosi me dridam iti tato vakshami te hitam. Translation: because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, I like your recitation, Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay, so again, Krishna has come to why Krishna is giving this knowledge to Arjuna, because he's a very dear friend. What is the another quality that Krishna has mentioned earlier in the Bhagavad Gita chapters? What is the another quality? Krishna, we have explained there's two quality, right? He's a dear friend. So if you're a dear friend, what is the quality that Arjuna had that Krishna is giving him all this knowledge? Anybody? What's the other quality? I think it should be pretty easy, right? Yes, very nice, Mataji. Non-envious. Okay. The very reason why we are here is because we were envious about Krishna. So that's why now we have to cultivate the non-enviousness. And because Arjuna is a very dear friend of Krishna, and we are riding on that. All right. So that's why we are getting all this information. So here Krishna say, I will give you what is the most confidential knowledge. And this most confidential knowledge is inside the burger sandwich inside. Okay, let's see what is that secret. Actually, this verse has come in previous chapter. Can anybody tell me which chapter is that? This is a bit difficult, but let's challenge. Then we will go for the recitation. Can anybody tell me? Or I get the person to read first, then you can tell me which sloka is that. 1865 is by Amita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita 18.65. Manmana bhava mat bhakto mat yaji mam namaskuru mam evashyasi satyam te pratijani priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So, anybody found out what is the similar verse? Okay. Shobha Mataji.
9.1 Mataji.
9.1
Is it similar to 9.1?
Not 9.1 Mataji. Oh, I think you're talking about the reason earlier, right? One is dear friend and one is never envious. Yeah, it's good that you have found that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's 9.1. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so the similar verse to 18.65, 34. Engage your mind. We have in the chat box, Mataji, Jayasitani Mataji has given the Sanskrit sloka and Shobha Mataji given the English, so you all can read that also. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Okay, offer obeisance and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you'll come to me. So here, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. You will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you're my very dear friend. Okay, priyo sime, dear. Okay, Arjuna is very priyo to Krishna. Okay, so this is the most confidential knowledge. Okay, so pretty straightforward, right? Always think of me, become devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. You will come to me without fail. And Krishna is promising that here. Okay, this is a very, very famous sloka. 66.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papiyo mokshayishami masucha. Translation. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Yes, it's a very powerful, very important, very famous, and this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, let me show you a book here. If you can see my video on for you all. This is an overview book for Bhagavad Gita. Okay, it's this thick, and the title itself is Surrender Unto Me. Alright, so this is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. If anybody asks, what is the goal of Bhagavad Gita? The goal of Bhagavad Gita to surrender unto Krishna. That's why Krishna has put in this instruction at the end of the chapter. Because from the beginning, Krishna has talked about so many yogas, karma yoga, jnana yoga, astanga yoga, dhyana yoga. Dhyana yoga is in the astanga yoga. Astanga means 8, one of it is dhyana. So karma yoga. There's nishkama karma yoga, sakama karma yoga, and then karma yoga in work in Krishna consciousness, and then there is jnana yoga, and then there is, have I covered everything? So there's so many yogas. But at the end, Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Okay, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Okay, so he says that there are so many varieties of processes to self-realization. So abandon all that and then come to me. Okay, so our only duty is to exclusively surrender unto him. All right. And that way, material reactions will not touch you. This is what he's saying. Do not hesitate or fear. Okay, so, at this point, I can tell another example. And people may say that, well, we are vegetarian. We are also killing plants. Plants are also living entities, right? So, but what do we do with the plants then? We have to eat something, right? So when we kill because Krishna already said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. He already mentioned fruit, flower, water and leaf. He already mentioned this. You offer this with love, I will accept it. So these are also living entities, the flower, the fruit, the leaf also, right? We are plucking from plants and everything, right? But when we cook and when we offer, Krishna sanctifies the food. All right. So therefore, whatever remaining sins that we do, we incur in our life. For example, fire covered by smoke. Remember, you are carrying out your prescribed duties. But when you do for Krishna, whatever faults is there, whatever sins are there, because we are surrendered, Krishna will deliver us from those sinful reactions. So this is the meaning. All right. When we surrender, when we live a life in surrender to Krishna, and all our activities are dovetailed for the pleasure of him, then he will deliver us from those sinful reactions. And he, on top of that, he says, do not fear. Ma suchaha. Do not fear. All right. So that's the point of this sloka. It's very famous. Sarva dharman parityaja. Sarva means all. Dharma means all varieties of religion. Mam ekam, only to me. Sharanam, surrender. Aham tuam sarva bhabebyu. Sarvam, all. Moksha isyama, I will deliver you. Moksha isyame. Mahasucha, don't fear. Okay. Papebyu is, I think, sinful reactions. Should be that. Okay, so that is something from the purport. It's also we want to share. Ajita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Becoming a pure devotee of Krishna. Anukulyasya shal kalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyati vishvaso goptratvivaranam tata atmaniksipa karpanya sadvidha saranagate. In the surrendering process, one should, number one, accept things favorable for discharging devotional service. Number two, reject things unfavorable Number 3, always believe firmly in the Lord's protection. Number 4, feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Number 5, have no interests separate from the interests of the Lord. And number 6, always feel oneself meek and humble. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so this is not from Bhagavad Gita. This is if I'm not mistaken, it's from Nectar of Devotion or Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, so basically Bhagavad Gita is like a degree study, Bhagavatam is like master's study, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD study. So this is taken from there. Okay, these are the processes or requirements to become a pure devotee. All right, accept things favorable for discharging devotional service. You're accepting. Okay, like you're accepting the company of devotees. You are accepting taking up eating prasadam. You are accepting taking up the chanting. You are accepting the practice of waking up early. Right, these are all accepting. And then reject things unfavorable. All right, rejecting too much wastage of time on mobile or newspaper or TV, video games. All right, and as we progress, then probably you want to give up meat eating, gambling, intoxications, like that. So this is how we advance, rejecting yama, niyama, things you want to do, things you don't want to do. All right, this is the basic steps in the Astanga Yoga. If you know the ladder of the 8 stages, it starts with yama and niyama. First, you have to do and don'ts. These are the 2 things. All right. So in any yoga ladder, this is required. Third is always believe firmly in the Lord's protection. Feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Okay, Krishna said, surrender unto me, I will deliver you, do not fear. So we have to have that dependence. And then have no interest separate from the interest of the Lord. So what is the interest of the Lord? To serve him. All right, so that's what we want to do. We want to do things that he wants us to do, things that he likes us to do. And then how to be a good devotee? To always feel oneself meek and humble, the humility. So all these qualities we want to imbibe and practice. Okay, so this is how we can be a pure devotee. Okay, and then we are going to the last section of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, where Krishna speaks about the glories of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Apara Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Bhagavad Gita 18.68 to 69. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
All right, thank you, Mataji. So this is the benediction that Krishna is giving for the teacher or the preacher. And later in these 2 slokas, actually 68, 69, 70. 68 and 69, Krishna talks about the benefit to the person who speaks the Bhagavad Gita. And then in 70, Krishna speaks about the benefit of a person who receives the knowledge. All right. So one who teaches people, one who teaches the Bhagavad Gita, he gets pure devotional service and returns to Krishna. This is the promise that Krishna makes. Okay, so we have to be careful among who we are discussing this Bhagavad Gita. It has to be among the devotees, and it is not meant for philosophical speculators. Okay, it has to be done in the mode of devotion. All right, so the next sloka, Krishna speaks about there's no one more dear to me, more dear servant to me than one who a person who preaches about Bhagavad Gita. All right, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, the person who refers at the beginning, nor will there ever be one more dear. All right, and then in 1870, can somebody read for me 1870 from your book translation? Let's hear from somebody. What is the benediction for a person who reads? For the student? Mataji, can you hear me or not?
Yes.
Okay.
And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence.
Yes, so this is the result of a person who studies this, okay? So the benefit is for both the person who speaks and the person who reads and hear it, studies it. Okay, so basically Krishna is saying if you explain this secret of Gita to people who are like-minded and positive, you will get pure devotional service. So let's see if in this course, right, since February until now, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months. So have you been sharing this information to somebody? You know, it maybe it's weekly once, monthly once, or just in a random casual conversation, so you can see whether you have been sharing, okay, this information to your friends or family or to even children. Okay, so you can see that way. So it's beneficial both sides. Okay, so don't think I'm not qualified or I do not have a deep understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Some things you do not have to have very deep understanding to talk to people. It may be very simple. You know, you are not your body, you are the soul. Do you know we change our body just like we change our dress? You know, these are the simple things. Yeah, so it's for everybody. Bhagavad Gita is for everybody. Otherwise, there won't be a Gita course for children, right? Even children also learning. Okay, so move to 73. Now we see what is Arjuna's mental state. If you compare with his mental state in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, how many symptoms he exhibited, Mataji? Today banyak question lah. This Mataji. Dah lah kelas nak habis, so many questions. How many symptoms, Mataji? 9. Is it 9? Anyone? Anyone else? Symptoms. Is it 9? How many reasons he gave to Krishna? And what is that in acronym? Wow, very fast. SESTI, wow, bagus. Yeah, 10 symptoms. I will not ask what are the symptoms. Can we at least have the SESTI reason? Anybody wants to strangle me now, right now? SESTI, we have time, you know, we are already at the last of the slide already. Okay, compassion, SESTI. E, compassion for the relatives. Lack of enjoyment, Mataji. No enjoyment. Okay. Number 3, S, fear of sinful reactions. Yeah, so try to put in a phrase, because the SESTI is to just to help you to remember the keywords, and then try to put in a phrase. All right. Yeah, fear of destruction of family. The last one was in chapter 2. Indecisiveness to fight. Very good. Please tell me you all answering from your memory. Yeah. I would really appreciate that. Yeah, Jai. Okay, very good. All right, so 18.73. Now we see how Arjuna has transformed after these many chapters. Kandimati Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita 18:73. Arjuna uvacha nasto mohaha smritir labda tvat prasadan mayachyuta sitosmi gata sandehaha karisye vachanam tava. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instructions." Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So remember, earlier Krishna said, now deliberate on this and do what you wish to do. Krishna never said, follow my instructions. He never said that. But at this stage, Arjuna is telling all these realizations. My illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and I'm free from doubt. Now I'm prepared to act according to your instructions. So he said, whatever you say, Krishna, I will do it now, because I understand it's made, it's all your arrangement. You have a reason why this is happening. You could have done it yourself. Remember, in the universal form chapter, Krishna say he is the Kala. I am here to devour everybody, but you are just an instrument in my hand. Nimitta matram, he will use that term, right? Nimitta matram. So basically, this is the position of Arjuna now. He is now firmly fixed. All right. He knows Krishna wants him to fight for so many reasons. So he will do just that. All right. So this word here, written here, moha. Moha means that is opposed to knowledge. So which means illusion. Okay, so the real knowledge is the understanding that eternally every living entity is a servitor of the Lord, servant of the Lord. But most of the time, many times, but naturally what we think that we are the controller. We are not the servant, we are the controller. All right, so instead of thinking ourselves as the servitor of the Lord, we want to lord over the material nature. We want to control it. We want to be the Lord. We want to be the master of this material world. Okay, so that is the illusion. So everything Arjuna was saying earlier, I don't want to do this because this will happen. I don't want to do that because this will happen, because he thinks that he is key person in everything, like that. So that is his illusion. Now he knows that all these are arranged by Krishna. All this is happening because of Krishna. So that now my illusion is gone. All right. It can overcome by the mercy of the Lord or by the mercy of a pure devotee. And then now that when his illusion is over, he agrees to act on basis of Krishna's instructions. Okay, so Krishna conscious acting is according to Krishna's order. So that's the point here. Okay. All right. So here at this point, conversation between Arjuna and Krishna ended. And we are looking at the last sloka. Who can remember what is the first sloka of Bhagavad Gita? Who said that sloka? Who started it? Siapa?
Sanjaya.
Sanjaya, is it?
Distracting.
Vishal.
Oh, that's so cute, Mataji. Dhritarashtra. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's really cute. You know, even sometimes I get confused with Dhritarashtra and Dasarada. Dasarada is who's Dasarada? Who knows who's Dasarada? Ini lagi satu spelling, Dhritarashtra. Somebody put okay. Jai Sitara Mataji always there to save us like Krishna. She always comes at last. Okay, who is Dasarada? Lord Rama's father. Yeah, okay, very good. Okay, so the first sloka was started off by Dhritarashtra. What he asked actually? Ni lagi satu question. This Mataji not gonna stop asking questions. What was his question? Try not to open the book. Try to remember how it started. Sudah level 2 Mataji? Sudah masters ni tau.
He wanted to know what is Pandava and the Kauravas doing at the Kurukshetra field.
Very good. Nice, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah, so that was started. And then Sanjaya started explaining. So most of the Bhagavad Gita has come to us in the form of Sanjaya's description, right? Okay, and then this is the last sloka. It's not moving. Okay. Oh, thank God. The error is coming towards the end only. This is Sanjaya's prediction. Let's hear from Chandraprabha Mataji. This is the last sloka of Bhagavad Gita and last sloka for us also today.
Good evening to all. Sanjaya's predictions. Bhagavad Gita 18.78. Sanjaya Uvacha Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdraha Tatra Shir Vijayo Budir Dhruvanidir Madir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. This is my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. I believe this is a revision sloka, which means I have a question. What do we understand from this sloka?
What we understand.
Mataji, it's not a question for you, it's for everybody. Sorry. I mean, of course you can answer, but it's for everybody also. Don't think that I'm asking you a question because you just recited it. You want to try, Mataji?
Can I answer the question?
Yeah, you can try.
Whenever there is a pure devotee and a pure devotee of Krishna, these two merging will create power, beauty, victory, and morality.
Okay. So whenever there is a pure devotee and Krishna present, so these qualities is present there, right? That's what you're saying, right, Mataji?
Yeah, that's
okay.
right. That's right.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Mataji, for
I think
your.
you all experience this as well.
Yeah. Okay. Can we hear some more? What are your other thoughts? Anybody else? Wherever there is Krishna, victory is sure thing. Okay. Victory is always with Krishna and Arjuna. Okay. Yeah, we are there. All right. So Sanjaya is giving a prediction. He's actually declared the result of war by saying this sloka. Okay, so of course in the beginning he will say, oh, don't worry Dhritarashtra, we have this strong warriors on your side, Drona, Bhishma and all these people. But at the end, he already tell, wherever there's Arjuna as Krishna, Yogeshwara means master of mystic. And then Dhanurdhara means master of archery, a supreme archer. So, and then all this, Vijaya means victory, Shrir means opulence, Buddhir means morality. So it goes like that. I'm just telling based on my general knowledge on these terms. So because some words are similar to Tamil, right? Right, so this is his opinion. He's giving a trailer already, what's going to happen. Okay, this is a story. Who knows what story is this? This is a very famous story given as an example for surrender unto me. King Bali. Saras Mataji, may I request you to story us sikit? Whatever you understand. In 2-3 lines.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji.
Okay, I try. Okay, this is about King Bali. Actually, he was known for his. He's a person whenever anybody asks anything, especially the Brahmana, he will say no to them. He will give whatever he has, especially the Brahmana. So that is the time when this is one of the Vishnu's avatar. I think avatar number 3. Vamana. They also call him avatar number 3. They also call him as the dwarf avatar because he's a very small Brahmana. He's very short and small Brahmana. So here Krishna. Avatar number 5, sorry. Avatar number 5.
Yeah, that's okay. No worries on the number. But Vamana avatar is correct, yes.
Okay. So so what happens? He will go and see he will go and see this King Bali, and he will say that he wants to he only wants three steps. So King Bali, of course, he's a person who will never say no to any Brahmana. So he will say, yes, you can take 3 steps. So the first step, he will put on the sky. So that means he will conquer, he will become so huge and he will conquer the entire universe. After that, the second step, he will put on earth and he will conquer the entire creation of the earth. Okay. And the third step, you will ask, where shall I put? So King Bali, he will surrender to Vamana, and he will say, you can put your step on my head. And that's where King Bali will be sent to Patalak. And it is actually in Kerala, they also celebrate this as thankful to thank King Bali. That is the Onam celebration, if I'm not mistaken, Mataji.
Oh, okay. This is celebrated as Onam also, okay, to commemorate this pastime, right? Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Very nice summary. Yeah, so actually there was a huge yagya this King Bali will be doing, because this is a prerequisite to attain the Indra's position. Because the king of heaven is a position, like I told you before, this devas, they are position. So based on the number of activities, pious activities you do, certain things, if you achieve that certain level, then you will get that position. So Bali was doing that many yagya, I don't know how many yagya he's supposed to do to get the King Indra's position. And he was doing, during this yagya, he has to do a lot of charity. Fifth, okay. Banana avatar apa, Mataji? Vamana avatar. Okay, so he was doing a lot of charity, and the demigod, they were afraid already. Why? Why? Because Bali comes in the lineage of demon. Okay, Bali is Prahlad Maharaj's grandson. All right, so if you remember, Prahlad's father was Hiranyakashipu, demon clan. So they were worried, what happens if a demon comes the king as a king of heaven? So they all went and complained to Lord. The Lord said, okay, I will come and solve this. So the Lord came as a dwarf Brahmana. So it is mentioned that he was so beautiful. All right, so beautiful. And he asked for these 3 steps of land. And then the Sukracharya, if you can see this person behind this King Bali, right? He's trying to tell him, don't give. The person who has come here is not an ordinary Brahmana. He is the Lord himself. He has come here to trick you. Then King Bali say, oh, more the better the reason. How can I say no to the Lord, even if it is true? So when the Lord, when Vamana Dev asked, when the dwarf Brahmana asked for 3 steps, the king asked, I am a king. You're asking only 3 steps of land? And I can only ask what I need. Even though you're a king, I only can ask what I need. I cannot ask a lot of things. Just 3 steps. Okay, just 3 steps. And even the Sukracharya will tell him, don't give, but Bali ignored that, he ignored that, and then he gave. He gave his vow, he gave his word, okay, take your, and the Lord say, I will measure with my own foot and I will take it. So like that, the first foot, he measured the entire upper planetary system. And then the second one, he measured the lower planetary system. So with that covered already, the entire thing, whatever Bali seemingly owned, everything is taken. And he will ask, where do I put my 3rd step? I'm the only person, the thing I'm free is, it's me. I'm still free, so you can place your feet on me. So like that, Bali surrendered everything, including himself. This is complete surrender. Like he never bothered. He's a king, like that. So everything is taken by Krishna. So how he could do more charity after that, right? So yeah, like Mataji said, he will be sent to Patala Loka, but Vamana Dev also went with him. All right, so he will be the gatekeeper. All right, so that's how the pastime is. So now we know that in Kerala, they also celebrate this festival as Onam. All right. Onam means New Year, is it, Mataji, or harvest festival, or what is it actually, Mataji?
Actually, it's ours, but then because King Bali, he surrendered everything and he's a person who is a giver. So to thank him, they celebrate this festival.
All right, okay.
If I'm not mistaken, Mr.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is also an example. When do you reject a guru? When the guru is advising you against the scripture, you need to give donation to brahmanas. All right. So when the guru says don't, this is another one reason. There's so many reasons you can reject a guru. We have a guru disciple course. What kind of guru you must accept? When you should reject a guru. So all this should be made known to everybody. So you can make what you call informed decision. All right, so you can choose your guru wisely, and if there is any issues or circumstance, then you know when to not to follow the guru. These are the information that you must have, prerequisite to get initiation or accept a guru. Okay, so this corrupted. Actually, what I'm trying to say is that next week there will be a overview session. All right, so next week we will not give you, we will not let you be like without class or anything like that. So there will be a class, an overview. I think later on they will give the confirmation, and during that program there will be special prize for Bhagavatam. So I think the promo price will be on for 2 weeks, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we're all looking forward for the overview class, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a combined class, like for everybody, one in one class. Yeah, so or it still goes by our group, like group 22, 21, like that. So that one I'm not sure yet. So definitely I'll keep you all updated. Okay. Yes, so okay, so once for those who are already done buying Bhagavad Gita for yourself, there is another option of donating for the Sastra Dan. Sastra Dan means distribution of books. We give free books to people in orphanages or hospitals or school programs. So usually the devotees will sponsor these books. So now we also like to, ever since the Gita Gyan started in February, there are so many people are giving donations to the centers, the respective centers in their own states, and we will engage that money to buy the books and donate to these people. All right, so we can this is how we can engage the results of our work in Krishna conscious as well. So it's good to do this kind of service. So this is our timeline here. We have done 21 weeks, and then there will be introduction to Bhagavatam, and then you will have a convocation. So this one, the trip is subject to the lockdown. All right, so bila lockdown expire, bolehlah kita visit. But I saw in the news, I don't know whether it's true or not, the lockdown extended until December. Is that even possible? All right, so I'm not sure lah. Okay, so that's about it, Matajis. Thank you so much. Any questions at the moment? So please.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. So it says, let me open that back again, what it says, yeah. Devotional trip with the participants and Gita Gyan team. I think, I don't know, I'm thinking probably Jandabai cow farm, I'm not sure. It could be that, I don't know, but definitely I'm not thinking in nearby future we are not able to go out anywhere. When we can meet in somebody's house is already a great thing already. That is a great thing. Then we can think about trips. Yeah, Mataji. This headache is since yesterday. Usually I don't take Panadol, but today morning I took Panadol because I had morning youth class, and now it's still there. So yeah. I've been waiting to bring my kids to the Jandabai also. They have cows, you can actually bring your own fruits and sugar. Jaggery, that one, all that. On the cow farm, actually we have monthly contribution for the cow care program. You can contribute 108 per month, and then they will WhatsApp you the receipt. So you can join like that. It's good to be taken to take part in cow protection program. And then if you want to give a one-off donation, also we can find out how to donate that. Yeah, so we can do that, Mataji. If you are interested, you just PM me, I will get you the information. Oh, don't thank me yet, Mataji. I feel like it's coming to an end. No, we're going to continue. Looking forward for more. Oil, huh? Okay, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, it's been some time already.
Yes, Mataji, I think it's because of the heat. Everyone is like, no doubt we are drinking enough water or not enough water. The body heat tend to like cause headache.
Oh, yeah, I drink water like fish.
Yogurt? Are you taking yogurt, coconut water?
No, yogurt, sikit-sikit lah. Coconut water, totally no. Can coconut oil work? Virgin coconut oil?
Yes, virgin coconut oil. I mean, they use for salad and stuff, right?
Mhm.